Geeks Gone Raw.
Well, see, what had happened was the Xbox One came out, the original one, the black one, and there was no 3.5 on there. There was just whatever that little dongle thing was. So I couldn't use these because these were from the these were from the previous generation. So I was like, okay, well, I'll pack them up and just never see them again. And they came out with the Xbox One S, which had the 3.5 connector. So
they came out. They switched that controller out before the S came out, right?
Oh, did they really?
Yeah, I think they added that not too long after because I had that problem with my first controller. That headset broke, or it's just sort of shorting out, and no one could hear me. And I'm like, fuck, I don't have a 3.5 to use. So that's when I ended up buying that Halo controller used. And only because it had a 3.5, and I just used my my PlayStation headset. This one right here. I used my PlayStation headset to talk, and then I ended up getting my controller switched out by accident. Well, not kind of by accident, but not really. When I was living with my cousin. I ended up getting my controller switched out, and I ended up with the one with the 3.5, and I was like, you know what? I'm not going to fucking complain about this shit.
Okay, so then I had a PS4, so I could use the Tritons again. I was like, okay, cool. Because it's the one with the amp. The one that comes with the little amp thing on the side of the little box. I don't know if you've seen those or not. But they're not standalone headsets. They have a little box. There's like a little amp. Anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So, in order to use those, you have to have was that little thing in the back? Optimal drive or whatever, optical drive. You have to have that.
The sound thing?
Yeah, the little sound cord thing.
The optical sound.
Xbox had it, PlayStation didn't have it. So I was like, man, if I want to do voice stuff on PlayStation, I gotta go out and get a headset. So that's when I got those little Turtle Beaches.
Yeah, I think those are Turtle Beach, I think they're called, these are Turtle Beaches. It's like called the PX something, but it also has,
I think those are the ones I got.
Yeah, it is also one where you got a little extra piece where you can plug it into a PC. Like you plug that into like a USB.
Did you say the Xbox didn't have the optical or the
Xbox does. That's why I could use the Tritons on both of them.
Yeah, the Xbox originally didn't have a 3.5.
Oh, you're talking about the optical?
Did it have
PlayStation has optical?
Maybe the little skinny ones, but I never found it on. No, actually, I had a skinny one. I never found it on there. Like I even looked it up, and they said it didn't have one. Maybe they might have something they might have added later, but I don't know.
I mean, I have the original PlayStation, but I got it in 2015.
Yeah, I have an original PlayStation. I got it a couple months after it came out.
So I guess I won't be able to use those Tritons anymore.
They were supposed to be pretty good when they first come out, right?
Yeah, I mean, didn't they get bought out? Did they just do they still exist?
I don't know.
I know they got bought out by somebody.
I haven't looked up like name brand headset in a while. I've just been getting them off of Amazon from like random ass companies. Just go with the ones with the highest review.
Man, you can mess around and get that virus. Man, you gotta watch out getting stuff from China.
It was Hong Kong.
It's a China. No, wait. Where's Hong Kong? Hong Kong's in Japan, right?
No, Hong Kong's China, but it's not China. But it technically is. But
I don't know where things are. I'm sorry.
It's kind of both. That's a point of contention, so you might not want to say too much because we're already live.
Yeah.
I could barely point to the U.S. on the map. I mean, come on.
Yo, I had one of my Facebook friends. I used to work with her, and she was talking junk about the president, right? Because after the Super Bowl was over, he gave a shout out to Kansas City, and he gave a shout out to Kansas.
Kansas City, Missouri.
Yeah, he said Kansas. She went off talking about what the president said, and I guess somewhere in her conversation, she forgot that Kansas was a state. Also, that ended up being funny.
Wow.
Yeah, she was like, "Well, Kansas ain't even a state."
It's funny that things with like that gets him in trouble. Like it's like everybody knows what he's meaning. It's just that he always messes it up. To where
yeah, it's like for someone in his position, and for someone who uses Twitter as much as he does in his position, you would think that at the very least there is a one-person buffer between him and Twitter. You know what I mean? Like, there has to be one person in between him and Twitter that'd be like, bruh, you do realize that's they're in Missouri, right? Like,
even like Jay-Z or something. You go to Jay-Z's like page. I like Jay-Z. Jay-Z's not running that shit. You know what I mean?
Jay-Z does have his own, but he uses very seldomly.
But he has
Twitter
people that will.
It's like his shit is like SC. Is like S_C_. It's like weird. Is some weird like that. That is his like own Twitter that he barely uses.
But still, there is like a they have a social media team. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you would think that would be the same thing with other things, but anyway, we didn't come on here to talk about politics. We came here to talk about what's going on with you, Sam.
We weren't really talking about politics. We just brought up the fact that people don't know where
things are. Yeah.
Where things are, including.
I think social media's fucked up a lot of shit, but
social media has fucked up a lot, and we've had this conversation on several different occasions. Social media, the worst thing that social media has done is it connected crazy people with the same kind of crazy. You know what I mean? Because like, if you were weird and like, or you had like some weird ass beliefs or some shit like that, like, a lot of times before social media, like, you would be talking that shit and people would be like, okay, whatever, all right.
Well, just like those people on 4chan who believe that like 45 is like on some deep philosophical stuff. And he's announcing like the end times or whatever.
Yeah, but then like what Facebook did, and Facebook did this way more than Twitter did. Twitter did it a little bit, but because Twitter is the Wild West, Twitter is just very kind of scatterbrained, and it's like everybody shouting for attention. On Facebook, you can find the direct people that you want to reach with your specific brand of crazy. You know what I mean? Like, it's way more because
Chase thinks I'm playing, but Chase, look it up. It's called QAnon. Go look that stuff up.
I know about QAnon.
Yeah, it's like the idea that Facebook connects you to your brand of crazy, and first of all, I'm not complaining. I fucking love that shit. I absolutely fucking love that shit about Facebook because Facebook is like the only place where I can connect to people who really gives a shit about marching bands the way that I do. You know what I mean? It's kind of like Facebook really replaced message boards. And people say it's Discord. No, it ain't Discord because not everybody on Discord. Everybody got a Facebook. Everybody got a Facebook. You know, even that the asshole was like, I never go to Facebook, blah, 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 blah. Bitch, you got a fucking Facebook. You just try not to fucking use it. You just go in there to lurk. We know who you are.
Facebook's definitely replaced the message board, but Discord tries to emulate the message board.
Yeah, to varying degrees of success. I think with Discord, actually, I don't think Discord is like the message boards as much as it's fucking Facebook groups expanded. And like, just like every fucking Facebook group, everything starts off cool and then it just dies. At some point, every Facebook group, almost every Facebook group that I have ever joined, at some point just died.
Hey, I actually enjoy some of the Facebook groups. I mean, if it wasn't for the Facebook group, I would have never found people who also, like myself, enjoy making fun of the post-Wonka era aesthetic. You should see this. You should see this thing. It's called Wonka Pomo. Like Build-A-Bear. Build-A-Bear, for example, is a perfect example of Wonka Pomo. I'm telling you,
that's a very specific.
You can find your specific brand of whatever the fuck you're looking for.
That is a very specific thing. Like, that is niche within a niche.
It's very, very. No, it's just very funny. It's like this weird Willy Wonka aesthetic that pops up in our surroundings and we don't even realize it. It's hilarious.
Yeah. Speaking of Wonka, somebody posted a picture from, hold on, Charlie is the old one, right?
No, that's Uncle Joe.
No, it's Charlie and the Chocolate Factory is the old movie.
No, Willy Wonka.
Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory is the 70s one.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory is the book, which also became the remake. The
Johnny Depp one.
So Willy Wonka is the old one.
Yeah.
Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory was the original.
So someone posted this meme of like why Grandpa all of a sudden can like get up and do all of these things after just being in the bed for so long. They zoomed in to a picture of him. His hand was on Charlie's shoulder, and he had a coke nail. He just had one randomly long fingernail. It's like, yo, that's why he was able to jump out the bed and do all of this stuff. He had a coke nail.
He's like, hold on a minute, Charlie, hold on. All right, I'm good to go.
Yeah, let me go to the bathroom real quick.
No, like the memes that come out of that are funny. He's like, man, like laying in bed for 20 years until there's something fun to do.
Have you ever seen the conspiracy theories that that Snowpiercer is what happens to all of them after?
Who? What?
The movie Snowpiercer about the fucking about the world is freezing over and everybody what's left of humanity is stuck on a train. I've never seen it. I know it was on Netflix at some point, but I seen a theory video that Snowpiercer is basically the guy over the Snowpiercer, whatever it's called, is actually Charlie, and some of those other kids, the ones that survived up until that point, are actually characters in the Snowpiercer story.
JC, are you anything to add?
No.
That just shows you that I watch way too much YouTube.
Yeah, that could be a thing.
No, I never even heard of the movie. Like, I've
heard of the movie. It was on Netflix. The Dad's Getting Grounded or whatever. The Dad's Hideout podcast before Bad Father Figures. They had a whole big running joke about Snowpiercer, but I never actually sat down and watched it though. But,
was this one of those like early Netflix movies where like
it's not early? It was like 2011 around there.
Yeah, hold on.
I'm going to give you something to drink.
Snowpiercer was in 2013 actually.
And she just walked off.
It'd be all right. So let me tell you what happened to me this weekend. I found myself actually watching football.
Oh yeah.
I watched a good little bit of Saturday's XFL games.
Oh yeah, I checked out some of the first game, the DC game.
Yeah, I caught the end of the first game and I caught most of the second game. And I didn't think it was that bad. Now, of course, like, you know, like, it was the first game. A lot of people was nervous. Quarterbacking was not optimal, especially for LA, because LA, you know, I guess their starting quarterback had an injury, so like it was the two backups trying to play. Hey,
they ought to go out there and Matt Saracen that thing.
You know what I'm saying? I see. You know what I see? What is the name of that show? It's called like Good Girls or something like that.
Good Girls.
I don't know what it's called. Is it called Good Girls? Yeah, it's Good Girls. The one, it has Christina Hendricks and the chick who plays who does the voice of Katara, and then some random black chick that I've never seen before. And did you know Christina Hendricks is in a relationship? Do you know who Christina Hendricks is? Because you know Christina. Yeah. Do you know who she's in a relationship with? Don't look it up.
Chris Hardwick?
No. If you look it up, you're gonna be like, "What the fuck?"
No, I'm looking at the show. I'm not looking up her.
But Mae Whitman was it plays in it also. I think they're sisters.
And she's Katara.
Yeah, she also played in that movie that I hate. What's it called? Scott Pilgrim. She was also in Scott Pilgrim. And I fucking hate Scott Pilgrim. I hate it so much.
I've never seen it.
Nerds are gonna hate you, man. They love that movie.
Fuck nerds. Scott Pilgrim is a terrible fucking movie. It is. I mean, it is bad. I think it is one of the worst things I have ever seen, that I've ever sat through. I fucking hate Scott Pilgrim. Like, there is no.
I think you mentioned this before. I think.
Yes. But anyway, but she was in that. Who is that?
What the heck is that?
Christina Hendricks' husband?
That is not who she's with now.
Oh, it's not?
No, her love interest is Courtney Cox. No, it's not. It's actually Courtney Love.
Really? That's weird because she kind of looks like a redheaded Courtney Love a little bit.
No, sir, she does not. No, sir. But yeah.
Start to reach across that screen.
But the Matt Saracen is actually Katara's ex-husband in that show. And I don't even know his real name. He's going to be Matt Saracen forever.
I see them in a few other things, like post Friday Night Lights.
Yeah, that dude is Matt Saracen forever. So, but yeah, so I saw him. I was like, yo, oh yeah. Christina Hendricks' husband. You want to know who her husband is in that show? And this is like a name you ain't heard in a long ass time. Matthew Lillard is her husband in that show.
Really?
Oh, okay.
Really?
It's funny. Yeah. I've been
I feel like a little woozy guy.
I'm getting woozy here. You hit me with a phone, dick.
All right, give me the knife. Let me stab you. No.
Yeah,
nobody gonna stab me. Come on, get out of here.
I had the Scream movies on VHS, and those were movies that I never went to DVD for some reason. So I recently found a pack, and I put them on the Plex server, and I rewatched Scream 2, and And then I had looked up I was looking on my Plex and it'll show actors and stuff, and it said Matthew Lillard. I was like, I don't remember them showing scenes from the movie or anything. Actually, Matthew Lillard is in Scream 2, but he's just at one of the parties, just in the background. And he does the same thing in Scream 4.
One of the dudes who plays in that show is actually played in the Joe Schmo's show. Has anybody ever seen that shit? It's basically a reality show, right? But it's the Truman Show, where there's only one guy who's actually here for real. The rest of them are actors. And at the time, it was like one of the most interesting things ever.
Does he know he's on a show?
He does not. He knows he's on a reality show. He doesn't know that the reality show was about him.
Oh.
All the rest of the cast, it's kind of like a Real World type thing. Is it Real World or a Road Rules type thing? I can't remember. It's been a long time. It's been like years, 2003. And it is, it's basically everybody is an actor except for him. And is basically like trying to see what he would do when they put him in situations. At the time, I thought it was really cool. That was back when I actually watched reality TV, which I very much don't now.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, but back to what we were talking about. I didn't think the XFL was that bad.
No, it was okay. Like from the show the game that I saw, I was like, oh, okay, well, this could have some legs.
Yeah, well, once you get used to the weird rules, because the kickoff thing is really fucking weird. Like, can we say that? Like, the kickoff thing is really fucking weird. For anybody who doesn't know what the kickoff thing is, here goes. The kicker is basically by himself. He's basically by himself because everybody else from his team is lined up straight across the 35-yard line.
Oh, I saw that. I was like, what the heck is this?
Yes. And the other team is basically all of them are lined up on the 30-yard line. So in order to stop them from running at each other full speed, they only put 5 yards in between them. So that way you can lessen a lot of damage because they do a lot of damage to each other when they're on these or when they're on special teams. They can do a lot of damage to each other because basically someone kicks a ball and then they run full fucking steam ahead at each other. And like when you got a fucking 250-pound man like muscle bound 250-pound man running full fucking speed directly at you, like it's gonna lead to some injuries. But so they're lined up on the 30 and the 35. The kicker is by himself. The returner is by himself. No one can fucking move. What are you doing?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Why?
The screen just changed.
Oh, he did.
I don't know.
Oh.
No, I'm kind of watching it a little bit.
I was trying to like bring up something, and then I realized it was on the same window, and then make a new window.
Now, do they still have that thing where you can't? There's no fair catch.
I believe so, but here's the thing. There's no fair catch, but I think that's for like punts because with kicks. No one can move until the receiver catches the ball. So they're on the 30 and the 35-yard line. No one can move until that ball is touched. So like it really lessens, but how it works is it's probably going to cause some like real cool kick returns because everybody is on that line. Everybody's on those lines right there. Once you get past those lines, somebody gonna have to chase you down. If you can make it through those lines, somebody really gonna have to come get you. Which is kind of the cool thing about it. There's some weird shit. Like you can do 2 forward passes as long as it's behind the line of scrimmage.
Oh, really?
Yep. And like when you score a touchdown, you have the option of choosing where the ball is placed. you can have the option of choosing whether you want to go for 1, 2, or 3 points after the touchdown.
So how do you do 3 points? What is that?
You have one play to do it. The ball is spotted on the 10.
Okay, and the 2 points?
2 point is on the 5.
Okay.
1 point is on the 2 or something like that.
Okay, so there's no like PAT. There's no kick.
I don't know. I don't believe so because I haven't seen very much of it. So, because what I was watching, I was kind of flipping back and forth, and I didn't see a whole bunch of scoring, just the replays. But like, I mean, I liked it. And then shout out to the guy in the replay booth who was totally controlling the replay with an Xbox controller.
That one dude, they kept on going to him, and he was like trying to concentrate, and he's looking at the screen like, "Yo, shut up."
Yeah, and I like the fact that everybody's mic'd up. Like, it's really cool.
That's gonna cause something with the censors you watch.
Yeah,
Somebody's gonna say something inappropriate.
Apparently, there's been a few F-bombs thrown.
Yeah, I think I heard something that the censor didn't catch.
There's been a couple F-bombs and there's all kinds of stuff. Hold on. Someone posted this. It said week 1 of the XFL had multiple F-bombs on national TV, on-field projectile vomiting, replay officials using Xbox controllers, fans in the stands eating rally cheese. I don't know what that means. I don't think I want to.
What?
No stupid penalty flags, a drunk streaker, post-game shotguns of hard seltzer, and that doesn't include the football.
Nice.
Yeah. But like, yeah, I like the fact that like the people, one of the cool things is like the people on the sidelines, the sideline commentators and stuff like that, they always have their mic on. So they can always talk, and they can always go talk to somebody. Like, so like if you had a fumble or some shit like that, they could just walk up to you after that. Like, what was you thinking, dog? Like right after it happens. And then one of the things, they were having fun with this one play I was watching, and the guy hurdled another guy.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
And then they started having fun because they noticed their guy on the sidelines with this crazy look at his face, like what? And then they started talking to him, and then he went to go talk to the guy. I was like, "What were you thinking?" He was just like, "When they go low, I go high." But like all of this is happening in real time, like not like they waited to halftime or like in between quarters to talk to somebody or something like that. No, he went to him when he was on the sideline. So, like that, I mean, that cool.
It's gonna come a day where one of those guys is gonna catch some hands.
I think so. It might, but actually, I mean, they know better than to catch hands like on national TV because they have 3 national TV. They have 3 channels playing this shit, like ESPN, ABC, which is basically the same thing, and what's the other one? Is it Fox?
So Fox.
Yeah. So like, don't they own Fox too?
Well, they own I think they own the movie part. I don't know.
I don't think they own all of the sports stuff because it was just like we don't really need your sports stuff. We got ESPN. But I just thought it was cool. I watched a decent little amount of it, and I don't watch sports at all, but I watched a decent little amount of that. I think 2K needs to make a game stat like as soon as humanly possible. They need to get the 2K sports football team back together so they can bang out a game real quick. It ain't got to be the best game. Just use the framework you already have and then just work on that bitch later. I think get the 2K18 back together and was like, yo, I need y'all to bang out a XFL game real quick. They use the same framework, make a good game, you know?
Anything to add, Chase?
What?
I said anything to add? You
Chase
just looking quiet.
Chase doesn't watch football. Because he's not a man.
Yeah, I was just saying,
he doesn't eat rally cheese, whatever rally cheese is.
You're just not American, Chase.
Not American. He's not American as you and I. He's oops.
Yeah, that's it.
He ain't American.
Yeah, I ain't one of them there Americans. Mm-hmm. All right, so I mean, we already started the show. This Sarcasm, holla at your boy. Okay, I'm not going to talk about my week because I did something this weekend that I'm a little bit ashamed of, but we can come back to that. Chase, how's your week? How's your couple weeks been?
It's been pretty good, like doing the thing, I've actually watched a few movies. I mean, older stuff, but still things that have been watched. But but we can get into I mean, as of the week, I mean, it's been pretty much normal, but it's been good, doing stuff during the day and having my nights free. Been playing with my brother a lot, which is something I never get to do.
Pause.
Don't be pausing brotherly love.
Mega pause. I just did the pause thing just to do it. Like, I'm not really one of those pause kind of guys. Like, you say what you say. Like, but I just thought that was appropriate.
Yeah.
And I needed to. I wasn't necessarily saying pause to you. I was telling whoever just started Netflix up to pause the damn Netflix.
Oh.
Because I can hear the.
Yeah. But everything else is good as a sound.
Yeah, I'm good. I don't really have no issues.
Oh, okay, cool. But yeah, we've been playing a lot of ESO, Elder Scrolls Online. That's been pretty cool. And I've been really enjoying that. Like when we first tried to get into it, it was on the Xbox One, and it was all right. And that was before the Morrowind expansion come out, and there wasn't really too much to it. But now, like, we just kind of just doing whatever, not really worrying about what we're doing, just killing monsters and doing dungeons, and actually built my guy or my girl to be kind of a tank, and kind of enjoying that.
Are you one of those people that are like, I picked the girl character because if I'm going to stare at someone's butt for hours, it might as well be hers?
No, I just kind of wanted to pick a girl character. She has antlers.
Antlers, okay.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I haven't heard before.
Well, she's like a druid like type character, so I thought it fit. But in Elder Scrolls, they're called wardens. But because
Sam, is there any connection with all of this stuff with the whole Skyrim thing that you're so deep into?
Absolutely nothing.
There's no connection points
It has
between
nothing to do with Skyrim.
Oh,
are they actually going to have a Skyrim expansion at some point?
Well, they already have. I mean, Riften and like the area that Windhelm is in. What is that?
But no actual like proper Skyrim expansion. I mean, it's still Elder Scrolls, except that like I've seen gameplay of it. It looks nothing like Skyrim, like the actual game.
Well, I mean, it plays a little bit, but like you, and some of the UI kind of looks like Skyrim, but the gameplay is, it's still Elder Scrolls. It's just online, and you're doing. It's not as insular, I guess, and where you're just there in NPCs. I mean, there's like a lot of people. Like I didn't just playing Destiny. Like you just go in and if you're in like a server that has like a lot of people, that they might be a few people, but in this, there's a lot of people. Like in the towns, it's just like so many people. Because you join the US server if I say, hey, go to this tree, and then we're not even grouped up, we're going to see each other because you're in the same server. Like there's these things that are kind of like the public events in Destiny, but they're like these big chain things come down. But we were just standing next to one, and all of a sudden it turned on, and all of a sudden, out of the waypoint, thousands of people come through, and my frames dropped to like 15 frames a second. And I was like, there's no strategy to these things. The bosses are just dying. There's just so many people. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just clicking. But I just got a lot of XP out of it. I was like, that was insane. But
yeah, because it's something in Destiny that you still get all of the XP as long as you got one shot on whatever you. Yeah, you still get pretty much all of the XP.
Yeah, same thing here.
Okay.
So but yeah, that's been super cool, and like we're not. Other than me trying to like, the only reason I kind of decided to look up how to build more of a tank is because when we were trying to join a dungeon at one point, me and him both were running DPS characters, which is your base damage dealing character, which most people are.
Like your warrior class.
Yeah, like it just said queued for forever because it's going to queue up a tank, a healer, and 2 DPS. And since we're both DPS, it was just like, it could not find a healer or a tank. Because most people play DPS. So I was like, I'm going to be a tank, and since you're a healer on your main, like, we'll definitely not have a problem getting to a freaking squad. And tanky's been pretty cool. I'm not really about dealing damage.
So you can only play in squads that are kind of set up that way?
Well, you're in a dungeon, you're supposed to have that set up, and when you're if the two of us decided to play and you queue up a dungeon where it finds people to do a dungeon, it will try to match you with a tank, healer, and 2 DPS.
Okay. I have been watching. I want to play this game, but I don't want to buy it at $25, so I'm waiting for a sale. It's called MMORPG Tycoon 2. Now, everybody who I've showed this game to, they're like, I had no idea there was a one. But it's a game that's in early access, and you basically design an MMO. And you set up everything, and then and then people come in, you got to manage the servers and all of that kind of stuff. And I just think it's really kind of cool. You set up where the monsters and stuff are, and you set up your classes, and you can change them a little bit, and the different type of monsters and all. I think it's really kind of cool. But I don't want to spend $25 on it, especially because it's early access. And so far, I've seen one decent major update on it. So I want to wait until it's way more feature complete, because there's still some things that are missing. But I think it's really kind of dope that I am designing this thing. I'm not necessarily playing through an MMO. But everybody who I've seen play it, they cannot get the areas open fast enough because all of the areas are so expensive. Cause it's like $5,000 just to open up a new area and then make that shit level 3 or some shit like that. And so it costs so much to just set up an area that is really hard for people to kind of get a grip of, trying to stay ahead of the curve when people start hitting those levels higher than what you have. But so far, I like it a lot, and it's definitely up my alley. Pause. And I think it'll be a game that I would like to play when the price comes down or the game becomes more feature complete for me to want to pay the full price.
Oh, I on Humble Bundle this month I got Frostpunk and I downloaded it and brought it up, and I was like,
I'm sorry.
And the game said get coal, and then I was trying to get coal, and then people were starving to death, and it said, yeah, I have 50 people homeless. I was like, I got things made, and all it's trying to do is just tell me how to play the game, and people are already freezing to death and dying.
Yo, I'm telling you, that game is fucking depressing. It's depressing as fuck, and I don't know how people. I don't know how people really like. I know a couple of the YouTubers and stuff like that that really like the game, but I don't know how because I got a review code. Blue got me a review code, and I just couldn't do it. Like I felt bad. Like for real, like it made me feel bad. It's so depressing. But see, here's the thing: they just put out another like an expansion, and the expansion is based on the last spring before it got cold, so it's not as depressing. But like it took all this time to be not as depressing. You know what I'm saying?
It's like, well, you're not homeless, but you just live in a shitty house.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird, but like I really tried. I tried my best, and I just couldn't. Like it just made me feel so bad. Like I felt so bad. Like I felt so bad for these imaginary people. Like these imaginary people gotta live in these type of situations, and there's fucking kids and there's sick people, and like you have to decide what to do. What like do you want to put the kids to work? Like you have to decide. Like do you want to put these motherfucking kids to work? And you're just like, man, I don't really want to, but like we need people to maintain this shit. I don't really want to put kids to work, but that might be the best idea. And then it's just like, sick people. Like, do you want to just make them comfortable, or or do you want us to just chop some shit off and keep it moving? And it's just like, bruh, what is we doing here? Like, are we kidding? Like, this is the only thing that I can do here.
I heard you have a choice if you want to give people lewd and like debauchery type stuff to read, like basically dirty magazines. And I was like, does that boost the morale? It was like, no, it doesn't boost anything. It actually lowers your morale for the people.
I don't remember that part. I didn't make it to that part. I know you could do stuff that'll help out with like fighting pits and stuff like that. It's just like, yo, like we just gonna make a tent where people just beat the shit out of each other for fun. Like that's the kind of world they live in. Where it's just like, they get happy because you built a tent where they can go fuck each other up. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, this is what this is about. Like,
that's kind of how I feel about, because I've been trying to finish Life is Strange 2 for a while, and I'm on the last episode. It's just, I wouldn't say it's not grabbing me like the other one did, but it's just so depressing. When the other one, yeah, there was fucked up shit going on, but it wasn't depressing all the time. It's just like depressing all the time.
Yeah, and I just don't want to do that to myself. And like, that also I felt that way with the Walking Dead Telltale games. Like I just don't want I don't want to be in this world. Like I'd rather watch somebody play it.
That's what Life is Strange 2 feels like. It feels like Walking Dead, but with no zombies.
Yeah, and it's just like, I don't want to be in that world. I'd rather watch someone play it and like treat it like it's a like TV show or something like that. And I'm just kind of like, all right, cool. I could just kind of separate myself from it. But when I'm sitting there making the decisions myself, I don't feel invested in that. And I'm just like, I don't want to be here. That's kind of how I felt. Like I think the first Walking Dead series, I played that joint hard. And then, like, when I got to the end and that shit made me cry, I'm like, no, sir. No, sir. No more.
Lee's voice actor, I've heard him in some other games, and I'm like, that's Lee. I've heard Garrus in other games, like, in the background, I'd be like, that dude talking about, like, screws, need some screws or something.
Garrus is the, excuse me. Garrus is the robot that talks to you, kind of like the AI thing that talks to you on The Division.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's why usually when I'm playing, I'm just like, thanks, Garrus. I still call him Garrus, even though he's on The Division. Yeah. I still call him Garrus, which is by far still the best character on Mass Effect, not Shepard.
Yeah, I wonder if the Division, if they get like rights or something, or like the blessing from BioWare to have the Division voice just to say, I need to calibrate something or something.
Yeah, they might. I don't think they would need permission for that. Do you think they would need permission for that? I mean, I know that's like the running gag.
They would need permission. It's just like they get their blessing just so they don't have any drama. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I understand what you're saying. Like, give them a heads up. Be like, yo, we gonna go with this calibration gag. We know y'all ran this bitch into the ground, but we gonna go with this calibration gag. We gonna do that.
But yeah, I've been playing that, and when I haven't been playing that, I actually booted up Ellie in the War again, man. What'd you say, Sam?
Did it make you feel like a dummy? Because it did me.
A dummy? Well, the first time I played it, I went through it with no, like, anything. But this time I was like, I wanted to see what it was like, just like knowing the answers or whatever. But like some of them, I was like, how would anybody ever think because this dude is looking straight at me, but he's still lying. You know what I mean? Some of them are really tough. And,
I just don't like the fact that the answer swings so wildly.
Well, something. There's a new version of the game on like PlayStation and stuff, and they changed what they say, and I think it makes a lot more sense. When you say truth, it's good cop. You know, you're saying I agree with you. You know, I'm on your side. Doubt is bad cop. That don't mean that they're lying. It just means you're playing bad cop. And if they are lying, you're saying you might not have the evidence for it, but you're going to beat it out of them and make them feel like shit. So you're going to try to break them.
I forgot they're in LA. Never mind.
But and then lie is accuse. That means I'm accusing you of lying, and I have the proof to back it up. So that makes a lot more sense. I never knew doubt meant that. So and it actually doesn't
like
make any sense.
Before, like, he would just fly off the fucking handle. Like, you just go like, you think that doubt is be like, doubt would be like, come on, bro. You know what I mean? But he'll be like, no, bitch, I know you lied. Like, I know you lied. Say it. And I'm like, hold on, dog. Like, I didn't want you to do that.
This is a little spoiler, but like, there was a part, and a lot of people that just played the base game probably haven't played it because the version on Steam I have has all the DLC with it, and I didn't play the DLC on the Xbox. But there's one called the what are the guys from another country that do have like an embassy, a consort or something? But anyway, but you find proof that guy, because you talk to this old man and he's like, these stupid Mexicans or whatever, and then when you're talking to him, he says, oh yeah, I took this book, and you get the book and it has a list of names. And then on one of the names is, you're like, okay, that's the guy in this book. This is the owner of the car. So you call that number and the lady's like, my son Billy is 16. And you're like, wrong number then. And you go off. So I didn't put those two together. But then when I was talking to the owner of the car, it said, let's put doubt. And then he was like, blah, 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 blah. And I put doubt. And he was like, you fuck kids. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, like, it's like, so you pick something and he would just fly way off the handle. And you're just like, whoa, I didn't want you to go that far with it. And that's what kept happening to me while trying to play that game. Like, it's like you pick the wrong thing at the wrong time, and you go from having a normal conversation to that dude just getting like highly upset. And I'm just like, whoa, dog. Like, it was.
But that one threw me off because it was just like a normal conversation. All of a sudden, like, do you fuck little boys? And I'm just like, where did that come from? And it's like, oh yeah. So the list in his card is he was kind of a bad person like that. So yeah, but that had nothing to do with the actual case. It was just that guy ended up being a pedophile. And then you get, if you do all the questions right, you get the pedophile and you also get the guy that was, stealing the cars. So
wow. Crazy.
Yeah.
Chase, do me a favor. Never go to a crime scene with like a notepad and pencil, acting like you're a detective. Because I have a feeling that after playing this game so much, you'll probably end up doing something like that.
Nah, man. But
and then you're gonna get the tarpy out of you. So
a little PSA to people that might play it on Steam. I've actually owned that game since 2013 on Steam, but I never got it to launch. And when I bought it, I had it on my laptop, and I just assumed my laptop couldn't handle it, so I just didn't think about it. And when I got my computer built, it still didn't launch, and I was like, "Huh, that's weird. Maybe it's just not optimized for Windows 10." And that is true. It's not. But what you had to do is like you download it, X out of Steam, and then you launch Steam in administrator mode, and then launch the game, and then it'll launch once you play it for a little bit. And then you can launch Steam normally, and then it plays fine. And that's it.
How did you discover this?
You looked that shit up?
Yeah, I looked that shit up. Man, it took me a while to look it up because a lot of people didn't even figure that out. But it's just something you have to do because it's an older game. And
it will be totally on brand. It will be totally on brand with Chase if Chase actually jiggled it for years and like finally figured that out.
But yeah, Rockstar kind of sucks with PC ports. But they're more of a
because they prefer not to handle them themselves, you know.
Yeah.
So, all right, that's all you played.
Yeah, I mean there might be a couple of things that I forgot about, but yeah, that's basically it.
Sam, what you played? Have you been playing anything?
Not lately, but just today I was working on my Twitch stream trying to get this microphone to work, and so. Played a little bit of Watch Dogs too. Did some Skyrim earlier. I started a brand new character just so I could, take my the one or two people that follow me on Twitch can see my journey. I went to do a raid on a bandit camp by myself. I got mollywopped. Okay. They didn't kill me or anything, but it wasn't looking good for a minute. And I was like, man, I completely forgot how it was to do a raid on somewhere where I'm not completely overpowered. And yeah, it did not go well.
Well, the cool thing about Skyrim is that when you compare it to like Fallout, is that it is a little bit easier that you have like actual magic at your fingertips to like heal you versus just like medicine. So
not when you're first starting out, Chase.
Oh, well, I guess not.
He said he started over, so
yeah.
Like, this is real.
I mean, like, I was lucky that I found that spell book inside the cavern in Helgen, Chase.
Yeah.
Because if not, I would have gone down in that raid. Because I whipped out that flame spell. Yeah, it took care of my problems.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you go off the beaten path where you're ready, you can get really fucked up. But if you just stay on the story for a while...
They're already sending me on missions. I'm like, I'm not ready for a mission. Let me just go mess around. Go do some bandit hideouts.
That's like the opposite that you should have done.
Really?
But...
Well, I got some good gold out of it, so I'm good. But yeah, no, that was a thing for a minute. I did a little... Watch Dogs earlier. Scar was making fun of my lack of driving skill.
Bruh, you can't drive.
It's that left trigger, right trigger thing, man. I'm telling you, I'm still not used to it.
So you want to get Halo driving or something?
No, what was that one on Saints Row? The AB.
No, I always put it on trigger driving.
Really, AB is your driving? That's how you like to drive?
That's what I started doing. I mean, that's how it was when I first started out.
I probably can't do a live stream of a Saints Row game because I have to pause the game too much. Depending on whether I'm driving or not, like my right trigger, if I'm driving, my right trigger is gas. But if I'm in the passenger seat, I go in and change it so that my right trigger is for me to shoot. So like I'm constantly pausing the game to change the control scheme in the car. So I can't really do a live stream of that and that's part of the reason why I couldn't play the fucking game on PC. I do not like that AB shit. I like having the trigger where I can control how hard I press it. like basically, like I'm pushing down the gas or letting off of it a little bit.
If you want to like practice like trigger driving, just play Forza or something for a while.
But Chase,
yeah,
there are things in my life that are more important that don't include me practicing left trigger, right trigger driving.
Well, I mean, most games that have cars in them nowadays are going to be left trigger, right trigger driving.
I'll manage.
Fine.
Trust me.
Yeah, but you can. All right, it's okay. You can't drive. Let's go.
Yeah, well, I can drive, just not well.
Yeah, we know. If we ever play that game, so you play Watch Dogs, but I have it on PC because somebody gave me a code for PC and not Xbox. If we ever play anything like that together, you can't fucking drive. I'm not letting you drive. Like, fuck that shit. I'm not driving in the car with you at all. Fuck that.
Scar, you're not actually gonna die.
I mean, no, but it's like, it fucks up the experience. Like, have you ever played Halo with Ace and let Ace drive and then, like, he fucking drives the fucking Warhog off a cliff and, like, you don't get that bitch back? So, like, you gotta run the whole rest of the fucking...
Well, the banter between you and Scar, if you were driving, would be worth a stream.
Possibly.
I'll just make sure to start singing that Neo song just for you, Scar.
Really?
Do, 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 do.
That's still one of the funniest parts of 2. But
he don't know words, so he's coming.
Yeah. He don't know most of the words. Like, for it, it's bad. But then they messed it up. Because in 3, they sang What I Got, but they knew all of the words. So it kind of messed up the whole thing of them singing.
Right. No, yeah. I actually did a pretty smooth getaway earlier when I was there because, like, I don't know. I don't even know what sparked it because I didn't even do anything. I was just hanging out in the gang area, like under the overpass. And, like, a cop pulled up and they started spraying. There was a big shootout. I was caught in the middle of it, but then I noticed that my wanted level or whatever was actually high. I was like, "What? How?" So I went
the west side to the cops.
I went and hid behind like some oil drums. I was good. No, because like if you engage the cops there, you will go up quick. Your level will go up quick, and they don't play. Like it's not like you're not armored. You don't have any kind of levels or anything. It's literally you with a little gun, with a little pew 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 gun, and you will die in a heartbeat.
Word up. All right, what else you played?
Yeah, I played a little Galaga earlier. And I think that's really good about it. It's just really been Galaga, yeah. I was smashing watermelons, yeah. Be quiet, Chase. I was smashing watermelons and making racist jokes. That's what I was doing.
Ooh. Black Gallagher, bitch!
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
That has to be the show title, right? That's Black Gallagher. Black Gallagher. That is the show title. I gotta remember. All right, that's what you got.
Yeah, I've been watching a lot of TV though, but as far as games, not that much. I mean, I should. I mean, I really need to. Scar, we need to get on that Division 2 because it's just sitting there. I'm staring at it.
Yeah, man. You just gotta let me know when.
Yeah, well, I gotta get Xbox Live back first.
I got the fucking the Game Pass Ultimate. I don't know why I got Game Pass Ultimate because I don't plan on playing any of this shit on PC. But I did it just to get it. I pay the money every month for Game Pass Ultimate.
I did it
for no
just
fucking
to get
reason at all. Yeah, pretty much. But I got it, and the Xbox Live is included in the Game Pass Ultimate. So like, fuck it.
Yeah, no, I mean, I let my Live go a while back because I didn't really have any games to play online. But
I let my PlayStation Plus go a long time ago.
No, I've been wanting to get it back, but it's just like after Christmas in retail, you will lose your hours like immensely. So yeah, I've been struggling with that lately. That's why I'm home most nights now.
Yeah, I mean, it's happened at my job too. Like my job is slow as fuck. Like, yo, I'm spending my days really watching I'm watching a ton of fucking TV and shit at work because I ain't got shit else to do. Like, I watched all the fucking Jack Ryan, all kinds of shit. Like, okay, here's the thing that I'm not proud of. Okay, so y'all know I watched the DC TV shows. I'm watching Supergirl again. So here's the thing. Because, okay, spoiler alert for anybody who's not current on the DC TV shows. Spoiler alert. I'll give you a few seconds for the spoiler alert. If you watch the most recent crossover, the world's ended, and now all of the CW shows are on the same Earth.
I was gonna say, like, are they now in the same universe now?
They're all in the same universe. They're all in the same universe. They're all on the same Earth. So, like, Supergirl is the one that I have no idea what the fuck's happening on her Earth. You know what I mean? Like, Lex is there, played by John Cryer. I have no fucking idea why John Cryer is there. But he was featured kind of prominently in the crossover.
Out of all the people I ever expected to play Lex Luthor, it would not be Ducky from
He's not bad. I will say this. He is not bad. He's not Michael Rosenbaum, but he is not bad as Lex Luthor. Not at all. I was surprised. I was just as surprised as everybody else. But so I went back to watch it because, you know, I watched through, I'm watching a whole lot of stuff. But so I wanted to make sure that I understood what the fuck was going on. So, like, I had to go back to, like, the episodes from the last season that I watched because I never finished it. I had to figure out where I was. And I had to watch those, and, like, everything is just kind of fucked. But let's see what I played. I play a lot of sports games because I'm playing the sports games so I can record episodes for this YouTube channel, the YouTube channel that the live show was on. And I've released a few different episodes. I got a Madden episode that needs to come out pretty soon. And then I played this game on my tablet. It's called 80s Mania Wrestling Returns. Now hear me out. It is a wrestling game, but you don't actually wrestle. They don't actually wrestle.
Like a fighting game.
It's a card game where you get cards and you have to use your cards to put on the best show possible.
Oh, okay.
And it's not just like versions of wrestlers. It's also versions of like characters and stuff from like the 80s and stuff. So like I got like a Indiana Jones type character, and I got like a Garbage Pail Kid character that's a wrestler, and like one of the vampires from the Lost Boys, and like that type of stuff. Like all of them are like characters in this, and it's really fun, except for like I'm still in like the early part of the game, so like everything fucking sucks. Like everything sucks because like I only have like 2 venues I can do, and buying cards to like make your stuff better is just just kind of difficult, and like I'm at that point to where I'm just kind of trying to figure out, do I want to keep with this until I can get to a good point where I feel like I'm doing something. Right. So, but that game is pretty fun. I did play some Killing Floor.
You did?
I'm trying to get back into learning Killing Floor because there's been a lot of changes. And like they're doing stupid stuff though, but they're doing like DLC weapons. Like and every time they do an update, they're only putting out like one map, and most of the time it's a community map that PC players already had access to. So like they're handing over the reins to another company to try to keep the game going while they work on something else. So hopefully that'll start turning around a little bit. But yeah, I started playing some Killing Floor just because I needed something else to do to kill time because I was doing nothing but playing sports games.
Right.
So yeah, I've done that. There was something that I wanted to talk about. Oh yeah, I'm close to being current on My Hero Academia. I keep having to fucking read it because the dubs are not coming out pretty fast. So like, I keep having to read this shit, and every time I have to, I'm just kind of like, bruh, I do not want to read this at all. It's some bullshit. And yeah, I think there's a lot. There's a lot to talk about. And we talked a whole lot about like nonsense. So I may have to record a separate show of me just talking about some of this stuff, because there's a lot of I've watched a lot because I'm just burning through stuff because I have nothing else better to do at work.
Me too. Like there's so many. I actually went back and watched shows that I watched a long time ago.
Yeah, it's just crazy. I mean, that's how I ended up back with fucking Supergirl. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I ended up back watching Supergirl because, like, fucking, I had shows to do.
I started watching. Are you done? Sorry.
No. I will say this. I finally rented. I hate going to the movie theater, so I hadn't seen this before. But I finally rented Deadpool 2. I liked it. It wasn't that great. I liked it. It was nowhere near as good as the first one.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool for what it is. But like, I don't know.
What do you think of the cameo of the Invisible Guy?
I thought that was funny because the video, the Invisible Guy, like was just like nothing, like didn't say anything, didn't really do anything, and then like once they got electrocuted, it was like, oh shit, it's that person. I don't want to spoil. I don't want to spoil it for nobody, but like the oh shit is that person. It's kind of like the Tom Cruise and the Tropic Thunder thing, like where you was just like, wait a minute, that was Tom Cruise? Are you serious? Like that type of thing.
It was a movie I watched years ago. The movie where like Robin Williams and Billy Crystal go hunting down like their ex's son because their ex told them that like they were both the dad. I don't know. I forgot what it's called. Father's Day, I think it was called. Anyway, in that movie, there's a cameo by Mel Gibson where he plays like some kind of raging like punker, and it looks weird because he looks like a 40-year-old punker.
Okay. Oh, I forgot something. I watched The Stranger on Netflix. That shit had me hooked. I watched Ragnarok too, but like Ragnarok isn't really worth talking about. And then I watched the Aaron Hernandez documentary, which is crazy. But The Stranger, that shit kept me hooked, bruh. It's like real crazy. I'm not too thrilled about the resolution. And I think it was a miniseries, so it's not really coming back. But like all the way to the end, that shit kept me hooked. I had to stop at one time because it was like 2:30 in the morning and I had to work the next day. And that shit was really stinking good because you're like, there's so many different like threads and you're wondering how in the world does all of this tie together? So like that's like really stinking good. I really like The Stranger. It's on Netflix. It's only 8 episodes. You can do that.
Yeah.
Y'all got anything else?
Check out the first episode of Picard.
Picard?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a Picard TV show.
Yeah.
I'm just not into Star Trek enough to like seek that out.
Okay. Well, good for you.
If I came across it, like it'll be, I've only seen I've seen the Next Generation movies, and I've seen the first J.J. Abrams movie.
Yeah. Okay, so you know, like that time when they left, this is kind of like the aftermath of like what they had to go through after Nero and Spock, were like, we out.
Okay.
So they had, of course, people had to stay and deal with the aftermath, and that's what this show is basically about. It's pretty good. It's I just saw the pilot. Because it was streaming on YouTube for like a week or something. And it was actually CBS who put it on there, not like your boy XX Damon,
right?
Dark Demon, whatever, Dark Demon 5. No, it was actually CBS.
I should start watching Enterprise again, yo.
You're the only person I know that actually kind of dug that.
I fucking loved Enterprise in the beginning. You know what I'm saying?
didn't fit with the other ones. The other ones were like these grand sweeping orchestral, and it's like a John.
I love
Denver
that
song.
shit, yo. Fuck that shit, yo. I love that shit.
John Lennon
But
can't
my
lead
time is finally here. I fucking dig that shit. I loved Enterprise at the time. I don't know why I stopped. I think
because it was horrible. That's why.
What's better,
I think
Star
it was-
Trek or Star Wars?
Your mama.
Wars. Personally, Wars. I
Star Trek is too nerdy for him, Cheese.
yes, I think so. I think
what it is.
Yeah, I think it's like because there's so many different Star Treks. Like you can't. Like you can easily separate the different parts of Star Wars. Like it's like the prequels, the first movies, the sequel series, and like all of the stuff in between there, like the Clone Wars TV show and all that kind of stuff, all kind of fits in those three boxes. You know what I mean? And then like all of the legend stuff that happened, that they said fuck all of that and they threw most of that stuff out. Even though for some reason, I don't know, Revan is canon. I don't know how.
Well, they brought back General Thrawn, but they changed his character. So
Well,
I don't know.
I think
I have not
they
seen
borrow
the
from
movies, though.
Legends a lot, but
they-
KOTOR isn't canon. But I guess they're bringing the character of Revan into canon. But KOTOR itself is not canon.
Apparently, they're
Well, okay,
making. They're making.
Everything they see, everything that's been on screen, any kind of screen. Well, I don't know, on TV or a movie. I don't know about video games though, but everything you've seen that you can see with your eyeballs is canon.
Yeah,
I've heard that KOTOR and like the Force Unleashed and all that isn't canon.
Oh no, the Force.
No.
They knocked that Force Unleashed with Rogue One.
They wanted to, as I understand it, they want to make an Old Republic something. No, I don't know whether it's a movie or a TV show. They want to make an Old Republic something, and as I understand it, there is something Revan related in the most recent movie, but I haven't seen it yet. So Revan is technically canon to this current story. Now, all of that stuff in the Old Republic, who the fuck knows? But Revan himself is canon.
Yeah.
At this point, because there's some sort of reference. There's some sort of reference in the new movie, but I haven't seen it yet.
I just realized I can stream KOTOR now.
Yeah.
Sweet. So I actually have incentive to play it now. And before it was just like, let me go through this.
Yeah. Still one of the biggest twist in video game history.
I think I already know what it is already. I think someone else spoiled it.
I mean, we can talk about it. I'm never going to spoil that.
I'll never play it. But
I'm never going to spoil that for anyone because it's been spoiled for me. So like it's spoiled. It's somebody spoiled it for me like an hour before I got there. Like I was at work and somebody told me, and then I went home and I'm like, bruh, you really? And then in an hour I got to that point where that spoiler happens.
somebody spoiled the Force Unleashed for me. Not the Unleashed Awakens. And I was
Really?
like, really? I had gone through all week and I was in a baking subreddit. I was like, okay, I'm safe here. No one's gonna come mess with Star Wars in a baking subreddit. I saw a recipe for lemon squares. Lemon squares, Star. Someone put on there Kylo Ren is Han Solo's son and he kills him.
Right. It's that's not as bad as the guy who did the Harry Potter thing. That's still the most fucked up thing ever.
What happened?
On one of the books, spoiler alert, I mean they're old now. One of the books, Dumbledore dies.
Oh.
And so this guy had somebody roll him past midnight releases for the book, and he pulled out a bullhorn and was telling them on page so and so this person kills Dumbledore, and then he reads a little bit of the passage while he's pulling away. He's out there with a bullhorn, and he drives to several different bookstores. And like, this is all like a YouTube video and shit back in the day. But like, yeah, this guy pulls out a fucking bullhorn and rolls past because he got an advanced copy of it for some reason. And he just pulls out a bullhorn and starts telling them that Dumbledore died. It's the most fucked up shit ever.
That's like that one
What
thing
kind of
with Brian
like piece
Posey.
of shit like you're not satisfied with your own life type person do you have to be to do that kind of shit?
Like, what kind of person do you got to be a spoiler? Just in that general, like, yo, I had to wait. I had to wait until midnight. That's when I rented Deadpool 2 so that it would be done shortly after midnight so I can watch the Power finale because I did not want to get spoiled. I started the Power finale at 12:09 Sunday morning. You know what I mean? Like 12:09 a.m. so that I wouldn't get spoiled on fucking Facebook. And if I had not have done that, man, that shit was everywhere on fucking Facebook. Like everywhere.
People were mad. People were mad on Twitter.
I understand why some people are mad, but I think the way that it ended was a good way to lead into the next season, the next series, which is going to start this summer. And that new series is basically starting 48 hours after that shit ended.
I see. No, but,
it has Method Man and Mary J. Blige play in it.
Nice. No, but speaking of like that dude of the Harry Potter dude, Brian Posehn, the comedian, he still this joke that when Phantom Menace came out, the midnight release, he was like he went up to all the people. He drove by lines of people lining up to go see Phantom Menace at midnight. And just to rile them up, he would like stick his head out the window and yell, "Star Trek sucks!" And they got so mad at him, they were like cursing him and stuff.
You know something? I will say this, and then we can wrap this up. The only time that I want a spoiler of any kind is if it's a light spoiler that's going to help me. There is 2 times where it's helped me out, and there is 1 time where I wanted it and it did not help me. I made a $60 purchase for no reason. The 2 times that has helped me. 1, Superman Returns. Superman Returns, before I went to see that movie, someone says, "Chill, dog, it's a love story. It's not Superman." And I went, all right, bet. Like, that's the kind of spoiler I need. If I'm going to see Superman, and I'm going to see some Superman shit, and it ends up being a love story, and, you know, like some kind of some Me Too rape issues, because, like, because she has no recollection.
She'll remember none of it.
She has no recollection of having sex with Superman, but she has his baby. Like, that's some real shit, dog. Like, maybe you might want to, you know. And there was no point in that movie where he actually explained, like, you know, oh, girl, it was from the Donner Cut. I wiped your memory. It was from the Donner Cut, bitch. Like, there was just none of that. Because
ain't no Boy Scout no more.
I wish somebody had spoiled that movie for me too, because I wasted money watching that.
What for that one?
Superman 2, yeah. Superman Returns, yeah.
Superman Returns, yeah.
He did not throw one punch in that film.
Yeah, that's what I said. Like, someone said it's not a Superman movie, it's kind of a love story. Like, go in there thinking that this is not really a Superman movie. And that saved me. And, like, you know, I went to see it IMAX, and there was some, like, 3D parts. And the 3D parts was kind of cool, but, like, other than, like, you know, the airplane thing at the beginning of the fucking movie, there was not really a whole lot of fucking Superman.
The antagonist was a rock.
Pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. But some of that shit in 3D was kind of dope. You know what I'm saying? It was kind of dope. But it was weird because there was only certain parts in 3D, and like right when you were supposed to put your glasses on, there's like these 2 glasses things started flashing on the side of the screen, telling you to put your glasses on. Something was about to happen. And then it flashed. It was like, all right, you can take them off. You good? Like that type of thing that just kept happening. It was like 4 or 5 times during the movie. Now, so that was 1. Number 2, Ready Player One. I was on the Dream Team, and they were having a conversation about Ready Player One. Neither of them have read the books, and I was getting spoiled. And I started asking questions about the book, and like they changed so much of the movie
Yeah.
Like, I was like, okay, so
almost like
I
a
don't,
completely
so
different story.
don't walk in there expecting anything that I knew already. You know what I mean? So like, that was a cool thing to get spoiled on. And the thing that I wish that I had gotten spoiled on so that I didn't spend $60. Can y'all guess what that is?
Call of Duty World.
No, Major Nelson.
No.
Oh, the outfit. No.
No. Brutal Legend. If I would have known that Brutal Legend was a fucking RTS and not a hack and slash like I thought it was, I would not have wasted my $60 fucking on Brutal goddamn Legend.
But you like RTS now.
I don't really dig. I like strategy games. I don't dig RTSs that much. I like games that have RTS kind of elements to it sometimes, but not necessarily like straight up RTS. I think I'm past my Command and Conquer days. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even though I had a hankering to play some Red Alert 3 on the Xbox one day, I was like, yo, I'm going to do that shit. Because I bought it and I never played it. I bought it like in a Black Friday deal, and I never actually played it.
Yeah. I actually did watch something that I haven't watched in a while, and then when I did watch it, I was like, man, this came out in 2008. This thing's 12 years old now. This is fucking crazy. But I rewatched Dr. Horrible sing-along blog.
I used to love that. I mean, of course, I'm a Joss Whedon stan in the first place, so
yeah.
So like, but I used to love that. I always thought they should have made another one.
Yeah, because it's crazy that was made during the writer's strike, but him and his brother were just like bored and they just wanted to do something, so they did that and like no budget and just released it on the internet.
Yeah, I think he said that he wrote it because he had wrote Once More with Feeling, the musical episode of Buffy, and was like, I could do that better. You know what I mean? Like, I took everything that I learned from that and I can do something better. And then that's when he created that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so good. And I still enjoyed it. It's got this whole, like, tragic comedy.
Where the fuck is Felicia Day, yo? Like, she is just nowhere right now.
She does her Geek and Sundry type shit, but
I have no fucking idea. Like, she doesn't come. She's not in my radar
anymore, does she?
She is not in my radar at all anymore. And like, there was one point.
Book.
She was in the last season of Buffy. Like she was everywhere.
She was huge for a minute.
Yeah, she was like real huge for a minute, and now like I don't know nothing about Felicia Day.
Yeah, she came out with a book not that long ago, and then I think that was it. I didn't even know Geek and Sundry was still a thing.
I don't even know what Geek and Sundry is.
It's her website where she posts a bunch of stuff, or she has like different shows on there from other people.
Yeah,
like,
it's got a lot of D&D type stuff, and what's that called? Critical Role.
Yeah, as soon as you said D&D, like you said, as soon as you said D&D, like look at me, like do I give
your shoulders? I'm like, well, we're telling you what it is.
I know. I'm just. I
never watched
There's
it.
There's black people that like D&D. No, you don't be racist against yourself.
I didn't say anything about black people. I said something about this black person. I didn't say anything about black people. Like, if black people like a whole bunch of shit, which is I find it weird because I am a member of a Facebook group on black nerds, right?
Yeah.
And the black nerds, like, they have, they will post some shit and they will have long drawn out conversations about like some anime shit. But like, you post some actual black shit and they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. And it's like, are you kidding me? Like, somebody posted this video and it's an Asian dude doing a rap. And like, the Asian dude is basically doing a cover, like where he rewrote a popular black song. It's called "The Box" by Roddy Ricch. But he is an Asian dude, and he made a whole song based off of that. He just rewrote the words. He kept the same melody, kept the same beat, and all that kind of stuff. And like, people were talking about how dope it sounded and all of this kind of stuff. And I'm like, you know, that's just Roddy Ricch, right? You could just go listen to Roddy Ricch. Like, he made the song first. And stop talking about like being Asian and eating dogs and cats and shit. Like, all you have to do is just go listen to Roddy Ricch. He's right over there. Like, it's over there. What's wrong with you people? And they're just like, no, but this is dope. And it's like, no, the original song is dope. Go listen to the original song, not this fuck shit. Like, it's that type of thing. And like, and that happens like quite often. But like, you post something about fucking anime, like they're all over it. And it's just like, y'all have no idea of you're supposed to be black nerds. Y'all have no idea what it means to like be black. It's like the weirdest fucking thing ever. And all of a sudden, like, sometimes they post some shit and I just feel so old. I feel like fucking ancient. I'm just like, y'all know that this is just a copy of this thing, right? Like, you know, like, I was like, you know, alive in like the 90s when this shit was done the first time. You know what I mean? Like, I was alive in the 80s, in the late 80s when this shit was done the first time. And like these people have no clue. And I just feel ancient.
Kind of like a few years ago, they were making like R&B songs and stuff with the beats from like early 90s dance music. Like that was a thing for a minute.
Hold on.
You know, like those Euro dance songs that came out in like 92, 93. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I heard songs like recently, a few years ago, they were just using those beats.
Okay, so I just seen the dumbest thing ever. I mean, other than shit that our president posts. Post this.
That's how you say it.
Yeah. I'm just crazy about how dumbfounded this thing is. There's a thing where someone is doing a petition to revoke the N-word pass of the rapper Logic.
Who?
There's a rapper named Logic. He's pretty popular
white.
See, here's the thing. Logic is mixed. He's not just white. He actually has some black in him. So why are we revoking the N-word pass for someone that's a part N-word? He's part N-word.
I didn't know he was mixed. He looks white as hell.
He does look very white. It's kind of like he's kind of like the Rashida Jones of rap. You know what I'm saying? Like he's very much the Rashida Jones of rap. Because you know, unless you knew, like you're just kind of like, okay, all right, fine.
Have you seen her sister? Her sister looks completely black.
I mean, do they got the same mama?
Yeah, they have the same everything. I'm pretty sure.
Really?
Maybe I don't know.
Maybe they could come to a compromise to where like mixed can't use the hard R.
It said that he is from Maryland. His father is African American and his mother is white. Like he's mixed. Now, if you look up Logic, he does not look like there's any black in him at all. Like he doesn't look like it, but his father is black. Like, come on, he's like Slash. Like, do you know somebody in the black nerd group just realized that Slash is black because they posted a picture of him and his mom. It's like, yo, like, we been knew this. We been knew that Slash was one of ours. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, people, like, that's why I say I feel ancient in that place sometimes because it's like someone will post that shit and it's just like, oh, I just figured that out. Like, we been knew Slash was black.
See,
have you seen I was
the internet has passed you by. It passed me by a long time ago, so it's okay.
I was today years old when I found out blank.
Stop that. You shut up. I hate that. That's the most annoying thing in the world. Like every time someone says that, I want to slap the crap out of them.
There's some things that I was today years old on. I can't think of none on at the top of my head.
Well, there was one. There was one. It was Monsters Inc. Right?
Mm-hmm.
They said what was it when they what's the code where the monster gets the sock on him and then they start yelling out 13 or something.
No idea what you're talking about.
It's like 3413 or something.
I don't remember. I seen Monsters Inc. once.
Sorry, I can't remember the code. But anyway,
I don't have children, so I've never seen it.
You never seen it? Well,
nope.
Well, fuck it. This whole thing is.
Just explain, damn it! Like,
okay, well, let me sock month.
No.
I have to get the number. I have to get the number.
Jesus.
Because okay, there's 20. We have a 2319. We have a 2319 when he finds a sock on him, and then they're like, the CDC comes in, and it's like a big ordeal because he's got a sock from the kid world because the kids are toxic to the monsters. That's what they think. Well, anyway, the 23rd letter is W, and the 13th letter is S. So 2319 literally means white sock.
That's what we waited for.
That's why it's called 2319.
That's what we waited for, though.
Yeah. Well, you guys, for one, you have I mean,
it's really cool. No, I'm not gonna lie. It is really cool that's just kind of hidden in there like that.
Yeah, but
and
you hadn't seen it in a long time, and he hadn't like seen the movie, so it kind of fell flat. But yeah,
I only seen it once, so I can't really.
Chase, did you know that in The Lion King, when the smoke dissipates, it spells out SEX?
Really?
Did you know that the smoke? The smoke. Because you just said it. Did you know that The Lion King is just basically Hamlet? Did you know? Did you know?
Go ahead, because I have a funny story about that.
Did you know that Cars is basically Doc Hollywood?
Well, I mean, Doc Hollywood's like literally a character.
No, the whole movie is basically Doc Hollywood. Like, it's like the same thing. Did you know that the movie Drumline and Thor are basically the same movie?
Something I never thought about. Or
maybe Nick Cannon should have got to play Thor.
Please no. Yo, I had a big blow up, and like, okay, my girl's spending the night with her sister, so I got like extra time today. I got time today, but so let me tell you what had happened. So somebody had made a post about the mask in Black Panther that he got from that Killmonger got from the museum, and that he subsequently used when there was the shootout later. And they actually put that quote, bury me in the ocean where my ancestors, blah, 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 whatever the fuck, right? And so I said, and I created this big fucking uproar. I was like, when are we going to have a conversation of like the fact that if they actually killed themselves, they can't be his ancestors? And like, it caused this whole big thing where a whole bunch of people were rushing to like defend this fucking stupid line that only sounded cool at the time. But like, the more you think about it, the more the shit doesn't make any sense. Like, it's just really fucking simple. If these people decided to kill themselves as opposed to being slaves, then they can't be your ancestors because they killed themselves. And it was like, well, what if they had kids? Well, like, okay, so they made a decision to kill themselves, but they're going to leave their kids behind so they can be slaves? That doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and then it got me to the point to where it's like, I thought of this like way more than I probably should have. And I said, if you believe in this line, that like, if you believe that like, the ancestors chose to kill themselves as opposed to being slaves.
Where did you get that, though, that they decided to kill themselves? Where does that come from?
That's what he said. That's what he said, bury me in the oceans.
Well, because there were, like, instances where, like, the slavers, the people who were driving the ships, were, in order to get them in line, would actually throw some of them off overboard to show this is going to happen to you if you keep messing around.
But apparently, like, this tribe got hit. They overthrew the ship, the people on the ship, and they decided to walk into the ocean instead of being slaves.
That's what I was asking you. Where did that come from? Where did that?
It came from a real story, and it was related to that mask.
That's what I was asking. Like,
So that's where it came from. But like, I'm having this conversation, and people are like really coming for me, calling me stupid, all kinds of shit, and like, this is how I shut them up. I say, okay, so you saying that those people had a choice whether to kill themselves or become slaves. Does that mean that we can't be mad at Kanye anymore? Because everybody was mad at Kanye when he said slavery was a choice. If you believe in this line from Killmonger, this is the exact same choice. You can either choose to kill yourself or you can choose to be a slave. This is the exact same choice. So are you telling me that you believe in this Killmonger nonsense and you can be mad at Kanye? That doesn't work. That's illogical because this is the exact same choice. They're both speaking of the same choice. So that means you believe in Kanye. If you believe in this, you believe in Kanye. And who the fuck wants to believe in Kanye?
Kanye.
Yeah, of course, Kanye.
But
that's kind of like that one where people say, or our ancestors got eaten by dinosaurs. No, they didn't. Our ancestors got away.
Okay, so that's the new show title. Black Galaga believes in Kanye.
There you go.
Killmonger takes off his shirt. Daredevil, this motherfucker spitting.
Yeah, I love those "this motherfucker spitting" memes. I've shared quite a few of them, but yeah, but it's some of them are really funny. Some of them are just kind of, that's funny. But you just kind of say it. You don't really actually laugh.
Yeah.
But I've seen some that are really funny. All right, so do we got anything else? I do got one more thing I want to say before I actually close the show. But like, y'all got anything else?
No.
I started Top Chef over from the beginning. Wow, these people were like really young. If you see some of them now, they got old. Like it's amazing. And I used to sit there and I used to watch this show. Back when it first came out, I was unemployed, and I was just sitting there. And I was like, man, I do not need to be thinking about this. I do not need to be reliving these memories.
Right.
Like, I don't know, does that ever happen to you when you watch something that was during that came out during like a period where things weren't going all that great for you?
Yes, I have those moments quite often. Especially is very especially tied to music. Like if the wrong thing comes on at the wrong time, fetal position, I'm fucked. Like, you know what I mean? Like, wrong thing at the wrong time, and I can't get to it to change it fast enough, I'm fucked. Like that.
Remember
kind of
we
thing.
were talking about how it's like when we were younger, like teenagers looked older to us, and they still kind of look older. Like say if you watch Scream, you're like, they don't look like the teenagers today. But the thing is,
they're all in their 20s, Chase.
Yeah, I know that. They're not like pretty much every movie in the 90s. Jamie Kennedy was 29 when he was in Scream. Jamie Kennedy's a boomer.
What's his name? The guy that played Cameron in Ferris Bueller's Day Off, he was 35.
Yeah.
Yo, but the chick who played in 90210 was like so much older than the rest of them. It's ridiculous. And that most recent
it shows now too, right?
That most recent 90210 run where everybody came back, except for the one who died, but they all kind of came back. Yo, she is clearly older than the rest of them. Like, she pulled that shit off decently until like the later seasons when she like became a mom and shit. It was just like, it's clearly she had already moved to Karen's stage. Like, she is, you know what I mean? She's
Cordelia was like in her late 20s when she was on Buffy.
Yeah. So like, but she kind of kept herself up though.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like she still fit in that area. And she was she went out to be Buffy. She wasn't even trying to be Cordelia. They gave her that because she wanted to be Buffy. But I was gonna say something. What was I gonna say? I lost it.
No, I was talking about Top Chef and you were talking about something if something plays on the radio, it messes you up.
Yeah. I mean, I said that already. I don't need to say anything else.
Okay. That's all I had, though. I'm watching it again, and it's pretty. It's still a great season. Season 2 and the other ones I didn't really care for that much.
I don't watch reality TV of any kind. So
okay, well, good for you.
What was that you were watching?
Top Chef.
Oh, Top.
It's really it's where they got the Hack Your Knives and Go. Where Rashadi was talking about that. You can tell who's going to leave because what are the judges?
I'll give shit like that a pass because it's more like it's less reality TV and more cooking and competition.
Well, I mean, it's still all the work. It's still all the fakes.
Yeah, but it's
no, but like Rashani was saying that like one of the judges has to tell because you can tell which one's going to get eliminated because she looks at them with puppy dog eyes.
Yeah,
before the eliminations, and it's true because I watched it and it is 100% true.
Word up. I just wanted to tell the people before we go ahead and get off this. I'm back to making paintings. I put up a video recently. One of them I was just talking, and then I actually did a premiere of a painting video. And like Chase and my girlfriend were there. That was fun times. They said it was 5 people on at one point, but only the 3 of us were talking.
Had some lurkers, man. They might be shy. They love your paintings.
Yeah. Actually, never mind. Those other 2 people were me. I just remembered. I had my phone on, and I had my TV on. Those other 2 people were me. I forgot that fucking fast. That's funny. But anyway,
that happened earlier when I was like streaming. I was like, I got one person watching. It was me on the iPad.
Yeah. You need to do the thing where you can put the little box on the screen. There's like a little box that actually puts the chat on the screen where you can see it while you're doing the Xbox. Yes, absolutely. There's a thing where and you can tell it where to go. You can tell it where to put the box. Yeah, you might want to look into that because like PlayStation does this thing where they just make your screen smaller and they put a whole fucking chat on the side. And some people like doing that. Some people like doing that. I think it's cool. Like I don't really have an issue with it. But like yeah, PlayStation just does theirs completely different. But you can put a little box on your screen where you can actually see the chat.
When I'm playing the game, it'll show up on my actual screen.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah.
It just won't show up on the stream.
I've done it before where I was playing Killing Floor and I put it like just above like all of the stuff that I have on the bottom right of the screen. I put it just above that. So whereas I could see when I'm like looking over at my my bullet counter and all of that kind of stuff, I can kind of take a glance at the chat also.
Yeah, Xboxes won't show up on the stream, but PlayStation's will.
Yeah. It kind of messed me up earlier when like I was like, I had the record bar. You know that you can put the record bar anywhere. So I was like, okay, I'll put it center and bottom of center. That's also where your health meter is at on this one game. I was like, man, no.
Yeah, I think I like the PlayStations, even though it kind of looks ugly. The PlayStation's one works best because it's just like, okay, we're just gonna make your screen smaller a little bit, and then we're just gonna put this thing all the way over here. It's uniform, it's clean, everything just kind of still works. Even though if you stream to YouTube, there's a fuck ton of a delay. It's like a 30-second delay between like what you do and what they actually see and when they respond. Because I've counted, like I've was been in a chat where Blue was streaming, like I put in something and I counted how many seconds until it showed up, and it's literally like 30 seconds behind before it actually popped up on the screen where he could see it.
Yeah.
It's weird. But no, man, I did that. I got another video that I need to post soon, and I also got that Madden video that I need to post. There's a lot of things that I want to do. I'm going to do it. I'm finally going to get the Patreon going. I'm going to start with just like one level or like 2 levels, like a $1 or $2 and a $5 level, and just kind of build from there because I keep saying that I'm going to do it and I never do it. So I need to just start small. And we're still going to still got some of the same plans of like giveaways and such, but, I'm going to do it. I'm like this close. I'm almost there. And like with all the time I got at work, I should have fucking time to do it, you know? So that's coming soon.
I got time.
Yeah, I got time today. And like I know next week is a off week for us. But do we want to do a show next Monday? Because it's the 10-year anniversary.
Yeah. Let's do a show next Monday for the 10-year anniversary. That's kind of important.
Next Monday.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, like, we can do that. So, I like. All right. So, if we ain't got nothing else, like, we talk way too long, and I really got to pee. So, thank you to everybody that is checking you boys out. We appreciate y'all. And I appreciate the people. Like, I was on Angry Mailman recently, and Bubba followed the YouTube page. Follow this YouTube page, the Geeks Gone Right Universe YouTube page. And I think y'all should go and subscribe and all of that kind of stuff, because we're going to be doing more stuff there. I'm still trying to figure out the whole live stream thing because my internet is terrible. But I am recording videos and putting them up, and eventually I'm going to get these series kicked off. I'm probably going to end up starting with 2K because, after the Kobe Bryant thing, like, I'm probably going to play some basketball.
If you look in the show notes, the YouTube link is in the show notes. And before I forget, take that rabbit shit out of the show notes, and if we have time sometime, just take it out of a lot of the show notes because it's a fake link, and because rabbit doesn't exist anymore, and I don't want people clicking on something that's going to get them fucked up.
Do people actually use the show notes?
If they...
And, like, don't you have access to this shit? All I do is copy and paste. All you have to do is take the shit out.
Yeah, okay, Scar. I'm just letting people know that the rabbit link, don't click on it because it might go to nefarious things because rabbit doesn't exist anymore.
The show notes need some pruning. The show notes need some pruning.
Yeah, I would like for, like, it just be our Twitters, and they, like, just link to our Twitter rather than, like, a whole bunch of shit, because it is kind of confusing.
Yeah, there's gonna be some pruning. We're gonna do some pruning. All right, so for the homie Chase and Sam, the homies Chase and Sam, I'm Scarfinger. This is Scarcasm, and we're out of here till next week. I think, yeah, we're gonna try to do a show next week. Whether we're recording on Sunday or Monday is up in the air, but we're gonna do a show next week for the anniversary. So until then, peace out to the Warriors, yo. Bam.
Later.
I like that shit, yeah, boy. Look, I'm telling you, Walt. All right, I ain't gonna talk.
10 years of Scarcasm.
10 fucking years of me. That's awesome.
And it all started with you popping up on that show that we don't mention anymore.
I know. I talked about it. Was it about like last week or the week before? I talked about it.
Oh, okay. Well,
but I don't think the part that we talked about was actually on. I don't think that was actually recorded. Was it?
No. So yeah. Say it right now. You were on EDG.
No, I was on PGR.
What?
Oh. Wait a minute.
I did.
I thought you. Never mind. I'm thinking something different.
Well, you were doing the Gaming Uncensored, weren't you? First, you were popping up on there.
I was recording segments for Gaming Uncensored. That was the first thing that I ever did. But like everybody noticed me from being on PGR.
Yeah, that's where you got your big break, so to speak.
Yep. And then like I talked about on the last AMP that I was on, I talked about like they did an inaugural Hall of Fame class. And I talked about like it was all of those original OFR guys and me. And I tell them the story about how I was supposed to be a part of that original class and I declined. And I kind of told them like I told them like a brief synopsis of why I declined. I didn't tell them the whole story. Like we're off the air, right?